Welcome to the XLR Radio Show, breakfast show, me, Danny, and we're looking today at extra work. Have you ever seen EastEnders Coronation Street and wondering how you can be an extra in one of these programmes? Well, to tell us more, we have my next special guest, Angie Sutcliffe, on the line now. I'd like to warmly invite her on the XLR Breakfast Show. How are you, Angie? Thank you for speaking with me this morning.
No problem, I'm fine, thank you.
And I looked at your profile CV. You've done quite a bit of work, extra work as well. How did you get into the world of extras?
Well, I actually started working as a tour guide at Coronation Street, and I got a taste for it. Really liked it. And then other people were saying, "Oh, you should do acting, you should do extra work." So I joined a few agencies. And it went from there, really.
Oh, great. So on the Coronation Street tour guide, I bet you met some interesting people.
Yes, and not just the actors. We had some wonderful guests. One in particular was a young gentleman who, unfortunately, he went on to be one of the people that died in the terrorist attack in Manchester. But he was such a character. He came on the tour and he said, "I'm a big Deirdre Rashid fan, and I've actually got her tattooed on my leg." And he did. And when we saw that he actually passed away, we were absolutely for everybody. But Matt in particular was so full of life. And they've actually dedicated a bench in the new Coronation Street set to both Martin and all the people who passed away due to the disaster. So,
yeah, that's such a heartwarming story, Angie, and thanks for sharing that. And the extra work, would you recommend it to anyone?
Anybody can do extra work, but it's long hours. Often you're sat there getting bored and you might just get called up and then called up and it's another take. So you have to be prepared that it's not a great deal of money.
Yeah.
Because you're usually travelling a long way. You do get treated very nice, and the food's always good.
Yes.
And you can get to do some interesting things. I've been involved with War of the Worlds and Tolkien and all sorts of things like that.
So you've got a bit of patience and like meeting people, then extra work could be the career path for you.
Yeah, I would treat it more as a hobby. It's not, you can't do it full time because you could be waiting weeks before you get something and then suddenly everything comes in together. So it's kind of a hobby as well as bringing a bit of money in, but it's not a full-time job.
Oh, I see. And you told me you're in you have a role in an upcoming film. Could you tell us briefly about that, please?
Yes, it's called V versus V, Vikings versus Vampires.
Oh, wow.
And it's actually a love story, because the lady who actually wrote the story in the beginning is from South Wales. She's called Kat. And unfortunately, her dad had Alzheimer's, and then he died through cancer, and she had fibromyalgia. So she wanted to make a film about her dad and the love. And it was kind of strange when she said Vikings and vampires, but when you actually go on the website of V versus V, we're on IMDb and YouTube, Twitter and Facebook and whatnot. You can read a little bit more about the story. And she put out a call for volunteers, really, to raise money. All of us do raise money for those three charities, not to give it to the charities, to help local people in other areas directly, really, have been affected by cancer and such. So it's narrowed down to about 90 of us now. And over the last 9 months, we've all been going over to Wales to do training in swords and stunts and all sorts of things. And I'm 57, so that's quite interesting for me.
Wonderful.
And we're all donating all our time and energy and talents and whatnot. The camera crew and everybody are all donating it for free, so that we can make a film that highlights things in a roundabout way, but also to help local people. So it's going to be unique. So far, it's only 6 days, and it's absolutely fantastic.
Great stuff. And fundraising is close to your heart, I read on your profile. And what charities are close to your heart?
Well, cancer, obviously, because, well, everybody had somebody in their life that's been affected by it, and I've had a brother and a brother-in-law who've, touch wood, actually gone through cancer but come out the other side. But I also had a lovely friend called Ashley, who had pink. I had my hair had pink for to try and raise funds, and she was only 28 when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she said she wanted to get married before she died, to the daddy of a little girl. So she did, and it was the most wonderful wedding. It was so emotional and everything. And then, sadly, she did pass away when she was 32. So I had my head shaved to raise more money to get a memory to be able to sit on when she visited my graveside. On the day of the funeral, she prepared everything to the horse-drawn carriage, and it absolutely broke down. Everybody was under these big umbrellas. And when we, as the horse-drawn carriage came up, we could hear a voice saying, "Look for me in a rainbow." And when we looked up, there was actually a rainbow. Oh. And it was like, oh, wow. It was like she was, she thought, I'm still here with you.
Oh, wonderful. Thanks for sharing that. That's so heartwarming. And just to wrap it up, you've appeared on a few shows, like The Weakest Link. How was Anne Robinson?
Yeah, well, we weren't allowed to talk to her in between sets because she put out for cigarettes and whatnot. And they said she doesn't do autographs. I thought, she's not met me. So I said, right, can she sign my bear bottom? And they said, sorry. And I'd brought a teddy bear. It was actually a bulldog cuddly toy. And I wanted her to sign the bottom of it. And they said, well, we'll ask. I said, well, I'm going to raffle it off for charity. So they had a word with her, and she did. So I got that, and I'm going to raffle that off because I was waiting for a special reason to raise the funds for. So I'm going to be donating that to V versus V to raffle.
Yeah. And am I correct? You've met the Queen as well.
The Queen a few times.
Oh, wow. Not many people could say they've done that.
No. Well, with my husband used to be in the Air Force. Yeah. So she'd often visit camps and things. Yeah. And she'd come along the line and she actually said to me, do you live round here? And I said, yeah, just the Lord, love. Because I'm from the north, so I come out with things like that.
Great stuff.
She's a lovely lady.
Yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with me, Angie Sutcliffe, and telling us about the extra work and your stories as well. And keep going. And I wish you the very best of luck. And we're all. I'm sure everyone's proud of you for what you're doing for all the good causes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.